With the looming ammunition ban in the US, we often catch ourselves wondering if not bullets, what is there to hoard? And today, we make you privy to just some of these unique and impactful items. Let's take a look. Number 6. Bean bags, $5. This is a sock-shaped pouch filled with lead, silicone, or rubber balls fired from a shotgun. The pouch expands in the air for wider impact. The approximate cost, you may wonder? $4.50 to $6.50 per round. When it's most useful, anytime a person is non-compliant but far away and not yet a direct threat, says Steve Ijames, the police chief in Republic, Missouri, and an expert on less lethal force. What it causes is pain, muscle spasms, and temporary immobility, but no penetration of the skin. Its main appeal, however, lies in how inexpensive it is. While the potential downsides are that unless a shotgun containing beanbags is adequately marked in a different color, usually orange, it can easily be confused with a shotgun loaded with real shells, which police call cross-contamination, and has repeatedly caused fatalities, according to the National Institute of Justice. Even if the correct gun is used, there is a risk of serious or fatal injury if the beanbag is fired at the head, and it's difficult to avoid hitting the head, face, throat, or center of the chest when a person is twisting or running around, says Heel. Different versions of beanbags have existed for over 3 decades and are perhaps the most widely used non-lethal weapon outside of the TASER, pepper spray, and nightstick. As the technology has evolved, from a flatter, squarer bag that was inaccurate as a projectile and sometimes failed to expand properly midair, it has become significantly less dangerous. Number 5. Blunt impact projectiles, $450. These are basically plastic bullets, 37mm or 40mm, capped with gel, silicone, or foam, fired from a single-shot gas launcher or giant revolver. The bullets are designed to flatten upon impact. They can also be filled with pepper spray or liquids that smell like fecal matter, rotten eggs, or dead animals to further repel the suspect. The approximate cost is $350 to $1,200 for the gun, $25 per round. These come in handy when subduing a potentially violent suspect from a distance, or for instance when an officer has time to get a large, specialized weapon out of the trunk. The effect on target, you may wonder? Severe blunt pain. Why it's appealing: the projectiles have a soft, wide surface of impact and should not be able to pierce through skin or injure internal organs. However, it also has some downsides, mainly the fact that this alternative is very expensive and only useful at long range. Also liable to cause serious or fatal injury if fired at the head, neck, or chest. Currently, the newest version has already been purchased by at least 16 law enforcement agencies, including the SWAT teams in LA County and Sacramento. Number 4. Pepper balls, $300. These are small 0.68-inch round plastic balls filled with synthetic capsaicin powder, an active ingredient in chili peppers. A paintball-style gun rapidly fires the balls, which explode after hitting any surface, releasing the powder. The approximate cost is $150 to $300 for a paintball gun, or $250 to $500 for a brand-name pepperball gun, $3 to $5 per round. It's mostly used indoors, including in jails and other correctional situations too, when the officer can aim at walls and ceilings to release the pepper powder. Would be interesting to use this in a home defense situation as well, when you're trying to send off an intruder without causing fatal harm, as the effect on the target is puffy, watery, stinging eyes, runny nose, difficulty breathing, and coughing, but nothing that would slay them in most cases. Its appeal lies in the fact that it is one of the few alternatives that doesn't need to make direct contact with the target. It can be shot from anywhere nearby, and the effect of the capsaicin powder will be the same. However, in terms of police use, cops' training and instincts often cause them to aim for center mass, says Heel. According to Ijames, the pepper balls bag a shot to the upper body because the officer wants to make sure the suspect gets the worst of the pepper. The potential downsides of this alternative is that the round shape of the pepper ball is relatively unstable as it flies through the air, and because of trajectory degradation, it is not nearly as accurate as a sleek pointed bullet. These were most famously used in 1999 during the Battle of Seattle anti-WTO riots. In 2004, the Boston Police Department accidentally slayed a 21-year-old college student who was celebrating the Red Sox's World Series victory by firing a rare pepper ball directly at her eye. Number 3. The alternative, $45. This is an orange metal attachment that a user can quickly clip onto the barrel of the handgun before firing a shot. The clip-on catches the bullet, like an airbag, making it fly about 1/5 as fast. The approximate cost of such is $45 per unit. This is most useful anytime a user needs to fire a weapon without wanting the shot to be fatal, and has time to attach this device. The effect on target is that instead of penetrating and potentially slaying the suspect, the slowed down bullet only knocks him down. But it might break ribs, and it feels like getting hit in the chest with a hammer, says Ellis, the CEO of the company that manufactures the product. The appeal of the alternative is a compact device that is relatively easy to incorporate into everyday use. The user can take the clip-on from his belt and attach it to their handgun. The potential downsides, though, according to Heal, one weapons platform should deliver only one type of force, either lethal or non-lethal. Combining the two on the same gun, he says, is inherently dangerous. What if the user instinctively double taps, especially if being used by a police officer who has been trained to pull the trigger twice? The result would be the firing of a lethal round right after the non-lethal one has already been discharged. It was most infamously used a month after the shooting of Michael Brown. The assistant chief of Ferguson's police department took to Google, searching for a less lethal option for cops. He came up with the alternative, but after a group of experts sent a letter saying how dangerous they believed the device was, Ferguson has stopped considering it. Number 2. The XREP, $1,500. Manufactured until 2012 by TASER International, the XREP is essentially a long-range, wireless version of the traditional TASER, firing plastic shells that each contain sharpened electrodes, a battery, a transmitter, and a microprocessor. When a shell hits the target, the electrodes are released and pierce through clothes and skin, releasing up to 50,000 volts of electricity for 20 seconds. The approximate cost for such is over $1,000 for the launcher, $100 per round. It's commonly used by law enforcement agencies to incapacitate people from a distance. The effect on target is that the muscles contract uncontrollably, causing the person to freeze and fall to the ground. And if the person attempts to pull out the electrodes, a circuit is created, spreading the effect. Why it's appealing? Like a taser, the XREP can effectively subdue a person who is thinking about self-harm or is under the influence of drugs, or otherwise has a high threshold for pain. And unlike a taser, the XREP can be fired from a distance. However, the potential the XREP's high cost is its main downside. But like taser products, it could be dangerous. According to a 2013 report by Amnesty International, the taser has caused more than 500 fatalities in the U.S. since 2001. TASER discontinued the XREP back in 2012 because it was expensive and departments just weren't buying it, says TASER spokesperson Steve Tuttle. But several world markets and even police departments around the country still have the XREP, and few use it occasionally. It was infamously used in March by cops in Albuquerque, New Mexico against a mentally ill person. Number 1. ML12 Less Lethal Launcher, $600. This is essentially a two-shot pistol that shoots most types of less lethal ammunition: beanbags, pepper rounds, rubber balls, flares, etc. It's most useful in close or hand-to-hand confrontations, at traffic stops, in small rooms. The approximate cost of such, $549 for the launcher and holster, $4 to $7 per round. The effect on the target depends really on the type of round used. Its main appeal is that this is a weapon that the user can wear on his or her belt and have on hand in any situation. However, the potential downside is that it only fires 2 shots, and 2/3 of use-of-force encounters require a user to fire more than twice, according to the National Institute of Justice. Where it's most commonly used? Tommy Teach, the founder of Bruiser Less Lethal International, the company that markets the ML12, says it has been purchased by over 100 small rural police departments who prefer it to the taser because of its lower cost. That's all for this video, folks. See you another time.